Okay, so if you ask a bunch of people what marketing is, you're probably going to hear the same two words over and over. But what if I told you those words are just the tiniest tip of a giant iceberg? Marketing is so much more than what we think. It's this powerful engine for creating genuine value. So let's peel back the layers and figure out what marketing really is.
All right, first things first. Before we can get to the heart of what marketing is, we have to clear the air. We've got to tackle the biggest misconceptions head on.
So I'll ask you directly. When you hear the word marketing, what's the very first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's going to be one of two things.
The first one is, of course, advertising. And that makes total sense, right? We are surrounded by it on TV, billboards, those ads that, seem to follow you across the internet. It's definitely the most visible, in-your-face part of marketing.
And the other common answer is selling. You get that classic image of someone trying to convince you, maybe a little too hard, to buy something. And look, both advertising and selling are absolutely part of marketing. But here's the thing, they're not the whole story, not even close. They're just a couple of tools in a much, much larger toolbox. So if marketing isn't just about flashy ads and pushing products, then what in the world is it? Well, the real core of it all, the central idea that drives every single marketing decision, can be boiled down to one single powerful word: value.
Okay, this here is the official definition from the American Marketing Association. And I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but look closely. The entire sentence hinges on that one key word: value. This tells us that real marketing isn't about tricking people. It's a deliberate, strategic process for creating and delivering something that is genuinely useful.
Here's another way to think about it, from a true marketing legend, Dr. Philip Kotler. He calls it the science and art of exploring, creating, and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target market. I love that because it shows it's a process. First, you explore what people actually need. Then you create a solution for it. And finally, you deliver it. See? The goal is always to satisfy needs by providing real value. But creating value means you have to understand people on a much deeper level. And this slide breaks down a super important distinction. A need is basic. It's fundamental. Like, I need food. A want is how our culture and personality shape that need. So now it's, I want a burger. And a demand, well, that's when you have the cash to back it up. I want a burger and I have $10 for it. Great marketing happens right at the intersection of all three. So how do businesses actually do this stuff systematically? It's not just guesswork or magic. There's a well-defined blueprint that they follow to turn this abstract idea of value into a real-world strategy.
And here is that blueprint. It all kicks off with understanding the customer. Everything starts there. From that understanding, you design a strategy, and then you work to deliver superior value. But notice, and this is key, it doesn't stop there. The final steps are all about building lasting relationships and, in turn, capturing value back. It's a win-win, a sustainable cycle that benefits both the customer and the company.
Okay, I get it. The word value can still feel a little bit fuzzy, a little abstract. So how do marketers make it tangible? Well, they do it by creating something called utility, which is really just a fancy word for the specific usefulness or benefit a product provides to you, the customer.
First up, we have form utility. Think about it. When you're craving a donut, you don't want to go buy a bag of flour, some sugar, and eggs, right? No way! The bakery provides value by transforming those raw ingredients into the final form you actually want. That transformation itself is a huge type of value. Then there's place utility. I mean, what good is the most amazing restaurant in the world to you if it's 50 miles away and you can't get to it? A service like Uber Eats creates incredible value simply by making that food available in the most convenient place possible, your front door.
Next up, you have time utility. This is all about being available at the exact time the customer needs you. A 24/7 convenience store is the perfect example. The reason you can get a snack at 2 a.m., long after every other store is closed, is because their constant availability is the value they're providing.
And finally, there's possession utility. This one is all about removing the friction, making it easier to own something. Take car financing. A low-interest loan doesn't change the car itself, but it breaks down a huge financial barrier to actually possessing it. It makes the car's value accessible to way more people.
So we've seen how marketers create value through all these different utilities. But what's the end game here? What's the ultimate goal? I'll tell you this, it's not just to make a single sale. Modern marketing is playing a much, much longer game. The real prize, the ultimate goal, is building what's called customer equity. Now, this is a huge concept. It's not about this quarter's revenue. It's the total lifetime value of your entire customer base, now and into the future. It's a forward-looking measure of a company's true health, and it's built on strong, long-term relationships. So, how do you build it? This slide breaks it down perfectly. It's driven by three things. You have value equity. That's the rational side of your brain, asking, did I get a good deal for my money? Then you have brand equity. That's the emotional side. How does this brand make me feel? And finally, there's relationship equity, which is all about the trust you build over time. You absolutely need all three to really win.
Now, people get these two confused all the time, but this visual makes it super clear. Brand equity, the power of your brand name, is a critical ingredient, a key driver. But customer equity is the whole cake. It's the total value of all your customers, which is built on your brand, yes, but also on your product's value and the relationships you build.
Okay, let's zoom out one last time. This whole customer-focused, value-driven approach, well, it wasn't always the norm. It's actually the result of a really fascinating evolution that's happened over the last century or so. This timeline shows just how much things have changed. We started way back in the production era, where the only goal was to make things as efficiently as possible. Then came the sales era, where the focus shifted to aggressively pushing those products on people. It wasn't until the 1950s that we hit the marketing era, where companies finally started asking, wait a minute, what do our customers actually want? And today we're in the value-driven era, where it's about connecting with customers on a much deeper, more human level.
And this famous quote from Henry Ford, it perfectly, almost hilariously, captures that old way of thinking. This is the production era in a nutshell. The focus was 100% on manufacturing efficiency, not customer choice. Can you just imagine a company trying to get away with that today? No way!
So if there's one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. Marketing has evolved. It's not about being a megaphone for a factory anymore. It's a strategic compass for the entire business. It's not about what you can make. It's about what value you can create and what relationships you can build.
And that brings us right here to the final, most important point. This isn't just theory for big corporations. Whether it's in your job, in your community, or even in your personal projects, this whole framework applies. So I'll leave you with this one simple question to think about. What value are you creating?